So I was going through YouTube like any other day when I stumbled upon a quite hooking video. This, Tak the Great Juju Challenge, OST title menu 1, because apparently there's 2. I hadn't played any of the Tak games in over a decade, and in fact, Tak and the Power of Juju was the first game I had really ever played at all. So I decided to go down trip of memory lane, and I gave that video a click. What I saw was a wave of nostalgia. And then something even more touching happened. I scrolled into the comments, that's me, and there were fans of people who weren't me that also remembered and loved this game. I was immediately interested. I knew I had to replay these games. We're gonna start with the first one. The first game I'd ever played. See how well it hold up. I just had to know. So, let's find out. Oh, it's been so long since I've seen this title screen. Let's hit that new game button to begin our adventure. We start, and we hear a little bit of humming.
Maybe low bow ta tiki bow. No, what is it going to take to get into contact with a powerful juju spirit from another world?
The funny-looking old man with a big nose is apparently a shaman named Jaboba, and apparently they live in this village called the Pupununu Village. And they all got turned to sheep by this evil guy Trelok, who is also a shaman. But pretty much Jaboba and Trelok like had a little competition to see who would the shaman would be, and Jaboba won. And in an act of jealousy, Trelok turned everyone into sheep. And so Jaboba called upon a juju. Jujus are basically like gods of the Tak universe, and you as the player are a god. Jaboba describes you as, well, just a normal human, pretty much. He kind of breaks the fourth wall, saying how you're holding a controller, you're watching through a screen, stuff like that. It's actually pretty cool that you play as one of the Jujus. But there is a hero, someone who will stop them, and the best character in this entire franchise, Locke. Jaboba had trained up Locke to be the hero, except he got turned into a sheep. So you, the player, control Tak, and you have to turn Locke back into a non-sheep. But in order to do that, we must find 9 weird plant things. Okay, sounds simple enough. Now let's go! And we're free. Free from the leash, and oh, hello. This is Flora. She's basically your tutorial. I don't like her that much. She treats you like you're a 3-year-old, pretty much. I mean, technically, that is, you know, yeah, but still. I would hit though. Anyways, after the kinda boring tutorial, if I'm being honest, now you're truly free. And while we're here, it's probably best we get accustomed to the worlds we'll be exploring. Tak's village, which doesn't really have much to it. It's basically just the hub world in a way. The burial grounds. We have the treetops, chicken land. I don't even think it's called that, but we can call it anyways. And this place. Oh, I love this place. And the mountains. Now, right off the bat, I must say, the game controls pretty solidly. I never really had any problems. There was never a time where I felt frustrated. Every time I died, it was my fault, and my fault always. But let's focus on the goal. Remember those plants I mentioned earlier? Well, they're from these, like, giant sentient plants that try to kill you, so then you have to kill them and shove a tiny plant out of their esophagus. Yeah, that's what you need to, you know, turn Locke back, so I guess we'll just do that. So, first off, to the burial grounds. Honestly, all the worlds are pretty nice, but I'd have to say the burial grounds was probably my least favorite. A little bit too depressing for my taste, but whatever. You find 4 teeth, put them into a tiki, you find this mummy, who has a staff which will allow you to jump higher and shoot coconuts out of it. Oh, but only the mighty warrior can take it. and the Mighty Warrior's Lock. Well, I guess we'll just have to...
Whoa.
That works. So, with the staff in tow, we can go to our first plant and slaughter him. Can I talk about the soundtrack, by the way? I'm not gonna lie to you, the soundtrack in this game is not bad. In fact, I actually listened to the OST before I made this video. Here's the Chicken Island music. The calm, nice, soothing music in the mountains. My favorite track in the game, the one in the desert area. And the music you do when you're fighting the plants. Now I'm gonna be honest, these plants, I don't, they're like mini bosses, but they're not really anything special. They all pretty much attack the exact same way. It's nothing special. However, the person who composed the music for the plants was just like, you know what? I don't care if these boss fights are like super quick and lame. I'm gonna make a really good song. It starts like this. Okay. Alright. And then it picks up. Okay. Now, I don't know why it's going this hard. It's just a plant boss fight, and then it's like, oh!
What the fuck is this shit? What is happening? Make it stop, please. Somebody make it stop.
So now that we've slaughtered all the plants in the burial grounds, it's time to head on over to Treetop Village. Probably my second least favorite place. However, later on in the game, you come across this little mini area, the mountains, which is honestly probably like my third favorite area in the game. Even though it's so small, it's just so soothing. It's quite calm. And it's the only place where you can get fish. Once you slaughter a bunch of plants in the treetops, we now go to Chicken Island. This place is weird. It has a bunch of these, like, guards that will, like, smack you and are really dumb looking, and just dumb in general. But you can just put a disguise on a sheep and you'll be good. Slaughter some more plants, and we go to the desert area, which, like, it's pretty cool. Not right now, though. At the start, you don't really get to see it for what it really is. I think it really starts to shine in the later part of the game. So now, with the 9 plants, we bring him back to Jaboba, and... shit, that wasn't Locke. Now we have to go get this spirit rattle thing, which will allow us to see those juju things I mentioned earlier. And it's stowed away in the treetops, and it is... oh, it's Treylock. Oh, he's got some minions. Pins and needles. You face off pins and needles, blow up their heads, and... you got it. You bring it back to Jaboba, and... he found Locke. Turns out what happened, Locke actually tried to stop the sheep. He tried to pull a King Dedede, if you will. And then got crushed and is dead. So now we need to revive Locke. How do we do that? Well, it's simple. We just need to collect 100 Eurobles, go to the burial grounds, retrieve 4 mummies, go into literal purgatory, get Locke's soul, and put it back in. Okay. However, now we can go back to areas we had already visited and summon some jujus. But first, I decided I would knock out the, purgatory thing first and get Locke's soul before I focused on the Eurobles. So you have to go back to the burial ground, summon this amazing party skeleton juju who is just the best. You place pin on the rhino, and then it destroys a ribcage, which allows you to go here. Pretty much this entire section, you just get 4 mummies, and they follow you back in some puzzles. It's kind of boring, if I'm being honest. But once the mummies are there, you go into the afterlife, and this place is weird, and I love it. There's these vases with skeletons in it that shoot lasers. There's these pots with nurbles, which are the enemies I probably should have mentioned. And then they turn you into one, And there's these like vortex things that like change reality. I don't know what kind of, I can't comprehend it. And then you find Locke's soul, which is trapped inside a balloon. You grab it, you take it out, and now we just gotta focus on the 100 Urables. And thankfully, the game is quite generous. There are a total of 200, which means you only have to get half of them in order to progress. Thanks, Zach. And I must say, the gameplay in this game overall just wasn't bad at all. Other than, you know, the mummy stuff and a section I'll talk about later, I just had a pretty good time. But now we can go back to areas we had already been. First, Chicken Island, I decided to go to first. The jujus you find in Chicken Island are these goobers who pull each other's finger apart and allow us to go in. And then they come back again in a porta potty, tell us to go inside the porta potty, and then we get a chicken suit. This game is weird. After chickening for a little bit, I decided I had enough of Chicken Island and I decided to go back to the treetops. However, I didn't want to stay too long because, well, I wanted to yoink Tiki, put it in, and come across this guy who tries to burn me and then burns the tree and then turns the coconuts into explosive coconuts, which we throw here to get rid of this. And then we travel in this blip into the mountains. And then he comes back and asks for like 4 different animals. We give it to him, and then we can go snowboarding. Hell yeah, dude. After dying like 30 times in the snowboard section, we are ready to go to the desert. We go back to the desert, do this goofy ostrich section, and then we summon the juju, which is just these guys again. And then you're in this weird, dark area thing. And you have to have the light guide you, and if you get too far from the light, the Nurbles will kill you. No, alright, yeah, it's cool. It was at this point where I had gotten 100 Urables, and I was ready to revive Locke.
Hey! Oh! I, Locke, savior of the Poopanunu people, am alive again. It is so good to be me.
Locke, now is the time to fulfill your destiny.
Yeah, we're all in terrible danger. We really need you to save us, Locke.
All of my training has prepared me for this moment. I am ready, Jabulba, for I am the mighty warrior called for by the Papoo. Oh, Papoo, boo. Oh no. Jabulba, where's the...
Out the door, round the back.
What's wrong with him?
This always happens when people get resurrected. They call it
What?
Resurrection's Revenge.
Whoa!
We'll just have to be
Somebody,
patient.
please!
Stay away from him.
Turn me off! Ow, 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 yeah! Oh! Yes. Yeah. Oh, that's good. Oh my, oh my, oh my. Oh, goodness. Oh my, oh my, oh my.
Heck, there is no more time. You'll have to get the moonstones while Locke recovers.
Me?
This magic amulet will help. It increases your abilities when you're at full strength.
Oh, it's like lava, baby. Ah!
All right, I'll go. But try to help Locke. Resurrection's Revenge is a terrible thing.
Oh, sweet Juju.
You know, before, I thought this game was, you know, pretty decent. Nothing too crazy. Quite good, not bad. But now that I've seen Locke, I think we have a masterpiece on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. So while Locke is shitting his ass out, we have to go get the moonstones. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that Locke stole the moonstones, which is like what this moon goddess needs to protect us, and that's how he turned them into sheep in the first place. That probably would have been important to mention if I'm being honest. So we just go, and first stop for the first moonstone is the Chicken Temple. And all it is a bunch of rooms where you walk around doing stupid chicken puzzles with super stupid chickens where you grab a golden egg and chickens chase you and knock it over, and it's really annoying, and I genuinely thought it was the worst. It's the worst part of the game. And it quite sucked. But afterwards, you do Dance Dance Revolution for the second moonstone and go into the Sun Temple. This place is quite cool. for the third and final one, where you fight pins and needles on an ostrich. Wait, is this an ostrich? Some bird that shoots lasers to the death. And with all the moonstones, the moon goddess is here. And then Jiboba's like, alright, Locke, go get him. And the Moon's Lord's like, no, it's Tak's the hero. Shocker, who could have seen that coming? So, Tak is forced into wherever the hell he went to fight Trelak. I mean, like, it's not the worst. It's quite short. I mean, he shoots stuff at you, you break stuff, you turn into a sheep and a rhino. Flora turns into an orangutan, you turn him into a sheep, and then she launches him, and that ends Attack of the Power of Juju. The concept art for this game is quite good. Okay, so how do I feel about this game now? Well, if I'm gonna be honest, it kind of did hold up. It wasn't bad. Certainly not as bad as some people on the internet have said. I was worried I would come back to this game and, well, my, childhood memories would be ruined, but lo and behold, they weren't. This game is not bad, and I can't wait to play the sequel to this game. In the meantime, I will be playing the second one sometime soon. Have not touched it. I'm excited for it. But, yeah. So that's pretty much it. I don't know how to end this. Like, how do you end this? Goodbye.